Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is Hassan Ali. We are going to see about uh, Baby et al. 2006 5E model of inquiry based learning. 5E models of inquiry-based learning is a model that starts with engagement of a student, exploration of idea, explanation, and elaboration. In all these four phases, the fifth phase, which is evaluation, is always taken in each steps. So each step there was evaluation. Whenever you started with engagement, you revisit evaluation, and whenever you explore, you evaluate. Whenever you explain, evaluate. Whenever you elaborate, you evaluate. Now, how this is going to be happening in our classroom? uh ByBee, as we said, starts with engagement. In engagement, teacher connect the current concept with prior experience and understanding. In this stage, students ask questions. In this stage, teacher have to be noting misconception from the interaction with the student. All those misconception, teacher should try to make sure that the misconception are marked, are noticed, are identified, so that at the end of the lesson, they must be corrected. Students in this stage start to develop a framework for the concept to be studied in the first step. And finally, student interest is picked. Student interest is picked. Make sure that in this stage that you develop student interest before you proceed to the next step. The next step is exploration. In exploration, a student is ready to begin the exploration concept, because once the student from the engagement, student interest was aroused, then definitely your student will be ready to explore the concept you are going to be you want them to study. The teacher will provide hands-on activity in this stage, activity that are hands-on. Students investigate a problem. After you presented that, the student who has to investigate the problem by themselves. In this investigation, they will develop hypothesis, and they test the hypothesis through this stage. The student will be engaged directly in forming the hypothesis, and also devising the methodology they will follow in order to address the hypothesis or to test the hypothesis. After this, we also have to put it in our mind that there should be evaluation. Evaluation after engagement has to you have to evaluate and know what are the current level of, what is the current knowledge of the student. Are there misconceptions? Are student clear on the topic you are going to be discussing with them? Are they ready? Have you aroused their interest in the classroom instruction? Then when you went to the exploration also, you have to evaluate to see whether the student they have or they understand the actual problem they come up with, and they form a very good hypothesis for the problem. They design a good experiment or strategy for which they will follow in order to test the hypothesis. After this stage, then the third stage is explanation. Here, the student will explain their finding. Prior knowledge here is connected with the current finding. Whatever they found, they will connect it with the knowledge they have previously. Students develop explanation for their observation in this stage. Students also need to internalize what they have learned. They need to internalize what they have learned. Therefore, after that, there has to be an evaluation to see is there a good connection between what they have found and what they understand. Are they good? Are they okay to internalize the ideas they learn, and also to make good explanation, to come up with good ideas about their findings? The fourth step is elaboration. Elaboration in this stage, as a teacher, you make sure that the student connect what they have found, what they have learned through the inquiry-based stages, previous stages. Make sure they have connected what they have learned to be in a certain conformity with scientific principles. After that, you have to evaluate to make sure that there is good understanding, there is good relationship, there is good idea generated, there is good communication of ideas between the students. This whole processes, these five stages, it can be done individually, or it can be done also in a group. So you as a teacher, you need to decide what you want your student, or how you want your student to engage in these stages. And finally, it ends with engagement. If the process wants to be repeated, it will be recycled again.